Self-talk is different than affirmations. Self-talk is more about really being present with where we are and what we are. Self-talk is about acknowledging the patterns of our brain. It's about acknowledging our nervous system. And in self-talk, we are not trying to override what is there. Sometimes with affirmations, we can say things like, I am confident and I am beautiful, but deep down in our core, in our heart of hearts, uh, we have already created this repetition. Like our brain already has this information and this instruction that is very different than the affirmation. So this can, in a way, create more tension and conflict inside of us when we try to almost override the reality of our actual situation. So self-talk is not about pretending, or it's not about acting like we don't have negative self-talk. One of the things that I really appreciate about self-talk is that we have the capability to actually rewire this over time with patience and with intention and with direction. Self-talk is about acknowledgement, a subtle shift, and a loosening of the grip that we can have on ourselves or our process, the unfolding process of who we are. We tend to, a lot of our self-talk is really built on a story that we keep replaying over and over and over with our internal thoughts, and sometimes of course in the way we say things externally. And so with self-talk, we're not trying to pretend like we're like that's not happening, but we're trying to soften the grip, to release the grip, and to give ourselves new instructions to really reflect on what those instructions are, and to try to shift our perspective, to shift our belief system, because really a lot of our self-talk comes from something, a belief or something that we're really holding strongly onto. So it's allowing us to really consider, where am I holding on tightly? What am I actually believing to be true? And loosening the grip as much as we can on that belief without trying to pretend like the belief isn't there. Affirmations, in a way, are almost like trying to create a new identity. And it's almost like overnight. Sometimes it can feel like overnight or in a few days trying to become a completely new person. Whereas with self-talk, we're trying to reshape our experiences, reshape the way in which we relate to our experiences. Notice where we have gotten stuck in an experience. Notice where we are gripping, holding on to, clinging to, and attached to a specific experience, and trying to see that experience in a different way, and familiarize ourselves with a new way of relating to that particular experience. There's this analogy of why sometimes a lot of these different workshops or tools and resources that we try to use to change or overcome the way we feel about ourselves, our habits, the way we think about ourselves, why they typically don't work. If you can imagine that you have an apartment, and this apartment is full of old furniture. Old furniture is dirty, it's a mess. This apartment is just full of stuff. It's filth. It's a lot going on in this apartment. And you have a friend that comes over, and this friend is like, okay, we're going to clear out this apartment. We're about to renovate this apartment. We are going to take out all of this old furniture. And so your friend comes over and helps you remove all of the old furniture out of the apartment. So the apartment is empty. Now this is a completely empty apartment, and there's so much possibility. You guys move out everything, you put it into a garage, you put all the old furniture into a garage, you're getting rid of it. You don't need that furniture anymore. A day goes by, no new furniture has been put into the apartment. Then a few days go by, and slowly, you start putting back, you go into the garage and you start moving back the old furniture because there's nothing new to put inside of the apartment, and you have to sit somewhere. You have things that you use every day. You need to go get the blender, you need to get your pots and your pans, you have to cook. But because no new furniture has came, then all of that old conditioning, all of that old stuff, it creeps back in. And so what typically happens is, because we try programs and workshops and all these things to kind of restore or change our inner world. And sometimes it might actually work for a little while. It really might work for some time. But what typically happens is, because we didn't put new furniture into the house, there's no new furniture into the apartment. So inevitably, the old furniture has to start coming back in. All of that rubbish, all that stuff, all that conditioning, all those things, that old story that keeps playing, all the negative thoughts that were happening, the things that you manage to slightly get rid of, they come back into your mental apartment. We want to put new, specific, clear, something sustainable, something that actually we believe, because it has to be furniture that we like. If your friend comes over, if your friend helps you move all of your furniture out of your mental apartment, and all your old stuff is in the garage, and then your friend starts bringing over everything that they like and putting it into your space that is supposed to bring you a sense of comfort and joy, and it's not actually stuff that you really like you're side-eyeing everything, then it perhaps won't last that long. So it really has to be a changing of your own belief system and a reshaping of how you see the world and your internal dialogue and your own internal process. It has to be things that you can actually relate to. Do I believe that to be true? Can I believe that to be true? And some things we might not immediately connect with, and some things we might not immediately gravitate towards and say, okay, yes, this is true. But over time, reflecting and through a process, checking in with ourselves and asking again and again, is this true for me? Can this be true for me? How can this be true for me? For me, self-talk is not about fake positivity. I'm the most confident, cutest, most beautiful person in the world. It's not about fake positivity. For me, it's really about the science and the biology, and also the reality of our own humanness, our reality as human beings, and what's unfolding, and how, and understanding how we work, and how to live and lead happier, more peaceful lives with ease and with connection and with joy, and also with acceptance.